Um, all right. Welcome to the VIP, y'all. This is the VIP crew member Matthew speaking. Dude, Paradox, what the hell, dude? Another theme song, another week. Yeah, again, this is Matthew, aka Nifty Time. If you didn't know, the whip is back. Big shout out to the DJs who brought the fire during the pre-whip. We had the Angie Taylor, Eclectic Method, the legend, and goddamn Vector Meldrew with absolutely fire video DJ sets. If you aren't already, make sure you hop into Crypto Voxels. We're on top of Alada's Voxel Hotel, now owned by Basilius, the great Basilius. We're kind of vibing out there. It's amazing. We have way more in store for everyone. We have a great show. Vector will hop on the virtual stage and talk about his upcoming drop on Nifty Gateway on Tuesday, April 12th, and maybe let us into some secret alpha for the secret cult that he's in that's associated with crypto art. Kind of curious about that. We have Mr. Y in the house who's going to be talking about at his new project, Nft Garage. And we have Pixelated Wizards here to give us an update. And some quick shilling on my end. Oh, one last thing. There's going to be a cool sneak peek of a trailer that Paradox has been preparing at the end before we had the group commemorative shot. Quick shill. I hopped on the Matthew and Rizzle show with none other than Rizzle. Rizzle kind of took it over to talk about his new project coming up, releasing on Art Blocks next Thursday. Y'all know what it is. On-chain chain. Super sick on-chain digital wearable project. Can't wait to buy mine, rock mine in the Metaverse, in Crypto Voxel, Sandbox, and beyond. Really stoked for that. But check out that episode where Rizzle unpacks all the things when it comes to on-chain chains. And yeah, big shout out to Brookhawk and everyone else last week that shot some ETH and stablecoins and whatever they had in their digital pockets to the WIP Meetup.eth. We hooked up 0x splits so that every member of the WIP crew gets a portion of whatever you send there. If you feel love, if you feel like the WIP keeps bringing the heat and the alpha and you got something away from the WIP, show us some love back. Feel whatever you have at the WIP Meetup.eth. Pays out everyone equal. It's the future. And with that, bring on the hype master himself, who's always living in the future, my dude Rizzle, man. Hit the folks with the updates.
How's my audio? My veggie? No veggie? Good?
They sound pretty good.
Thank God. It's like, I think I finally figured it out. I was like lost in audio deathland for like a couple weeks, but I think I got it. Okay, let's see. I got a bunch of stuff. I'll try to not spend all afternoon here. But we got a couple announcements. We got a bunch of giveaways and stuff. Let's see. Meme right here. They just launched their Wikipedia. It happened like an hour ago. And they got a giveaway going for anyone at the WIP to DM Johan for a meme to create cards. So I guess this isn't even like really a complicated one. If you just want to like get some free stuff to get the free things, DM Johan and he's gonna hook it up. Well, that was an easy one. I don't think we have a guest list in World, so you probably will have to sign it. We'll probably drop it in here at some point, so you can make sure you get your POAPs and whatever else we're giving away. Let's see. I'm mortified that after telling everyone to show up to Foxy Yoga's meditation, I missed it this past week, and I feel all agitated because I didn't. So. I actually had it wrong in my calendar and was like wandering around VR chat looking for Jin, trying to talk to him about interoperability and on-chain chains, and I actually never found him and then found out I missed Foxy Yoga's meditation, and it sucked. So we'll try to be there next week for sure. But that's Wednesdays, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, part of the unofficial cult agenda. So everyone go meditate with Foxy. Listen to the podcast that I did with Matt. Stick around afterwards. We're going to do a group shot. I'm going to show you. So Paradox Paradox has worked with me on a teaser for the On-Chain chain. So that's what we'll show you afterwards. I'm not going to post it publicly like for another few days, but it came out like super dope, and I wanted to share it with you guys. I did not schedule the drop to happen literally at the exact same time as the WIP. But it is next week. So join us next week to witness me either like crash and burn or like sell some chains. The whole thing is done in an hour. It's like a descending auction that, like, if it doesn't do well, descends to like basically nothing. So it will be something exciting, I guess. I'm terrified, honestly. So appreciate all the love and support that I've gotten from a lot of y'all for the project, honestly. I think that's everyone. Shout out to the crew. Oh, we decided to let me shout out the crew: Power Whip Girl, Sandy Meows, Carolina Duh, Foxy Yoga, everybody, Easy, Paradox Show, Timmy, Dragonate, Sashi, Conwolf the Stowaway. We didn't tell Conwolf the Stowaway, but we just like included him on the split contract thing. Anyway, so Conwolf is the Stowaway, but now he's official part of the WIP crew, and we're gonna like give him a bunch of stuff to do, whether he likes it or not. He chose to stow away with us, right? So he's not like in total control here. But anyway, if you donate to the .eth address for the WIP, Conwolf gets a cut. And has done a lot of stuff for us, honestly, and has been a huge supporter of ours. Yeah, now you're trapped. You're in the split contract. We got you. I think that is everything. So hang out. We're gonna have a good show today. I believe Vector is up first. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. Vector's up first. Hop into CV, hang out with us, and listen to Vector take the mic if you can hear me, my friend.
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sounds good.
Great. So I do an intro, or there's questions?
Yeah, do a quick intro, tell the folks who you are, and then tell the folks about the drop coming up on Nifty Gateway. And then if you're under 4 minutes, you're all good. If you hit 4 minutes, Samuel L. Jackson will verbally assault you. We'll let you know that time's running out.
I like the sound of that. I like the sound of him assaulting me. But yeah, so thank you everybody for coming. Thank you everybody for a great party. Thank you guys for hosting the party. It was a lot of fun streaming those sets, and yeah, it was there's this whole thing about bringing people together over music that I've always enjoyed, and it's just amazing to also translate that to the metaverse now, because I really think that's a strong thread for connecting and building communities. So it's great that everybody can collectively enjoy these experiences. So a little bit about me. My name is Vector Meldrew. I have been a digital artist for pretty much 20 years now, and that's not because I'm really old, actually I'm semi-old, but I started quite young. I started as a teenager at the age of 16, just being a fan of pirate culture and MP3 files, and I would set up a lot of infrastructure for things in my local area, which was London, and music cultures that kind of gestated from London, which are now known as things like grime or dubstep, or at the time was UK Garage, or my original love, which was drum and bass jungle, although that scene had kind of already passed because I was quite young, so I was too young to get into it, but that's why now I'm kind of reliving that passion with these jungle sets that I'm putting out there now into the metaverse. But yeah, so started in the music industry, the kind of underground cutthroat music industry, learned a lot about design, got to collaborate with a lot of artists that I respected at the time, and music videos or record covers and that kind of thing, and use that as a stepping stone to enter into the music world and get into these VJ sets, which again I've rekindled my passion for with the metaverse and NFTs now. Did my stint in the actual industry, advertising, gaming, that kind of thing. Worked on some James Bond games, and I feel like now is just bringing all those things together, really, since I found NFTs, already having a passion for crypto, already still being passionate about things like decentralization, and had been for a while. And this just feels like a great movement to contribute to and use the different creative aspects of my past to help build out a wider culture. And what's more, it's just fun. It's I say all these kind of like lofty intense things, but like it's fun. There's nothing else I'd rather be doing at the moment. So there's just a lot of liberation that's come from being able to apply myself to my own artwork for a good period of time now. You know, in the past, it's always been very much about having to balance it between some kind of client stuff. But lately, I've just been fully in my own art, and I've never done that for such a long period in time. You know, coming up to almost just over a year full time now. So just having a lot of fun, enjoying it, enjoying moments like these, and excited for this drop that's next week, Nifty Gateway. And it's just a celebration of all these things that I've covered, you know, my passion for music and certain music genres. It's a celebration of this avatar that I've weird blue-faced pink glasses man that I've assumed for the metaverse that I am using as an outward face, and also as a, you know, for these events like the one we just had in Crypto Voxels, and the way I want to develop that. And it's a nod towards that and these wider parties that have been happening, and you know, it's kind of weird, it's kind of surreal, it's kind of maybe even you know out there, but I had a lot of fun making all of these three main pieces, and maybe a slight extra bit of what I've recently found out might be trash art. So I actually quite love trash art, and I recently found out that a piece I made would maybe fall under the category of trash art. So that's also exciting. Some accidental, unintentional trash art, as well as the more kind of 3D world, kind of full-on 3D stuff. So again, just incredibly thankful for this event and incredibly excited about next week, and great to be here sharing with you all here. And thank you for listening to my monologue. Oh, yes, perfect timing. Great.
There you go. Well, I know there are some questions from the audience. I'm going to just drop that link to the accidental trash art right there from Twitter. But I'll pass the mic to Show to hit you with those questions.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey, Show.
So, what elements of the London underground rave scene influenced your newest collection, Mental Breakdown?
Mental Breakthrough. Sorry to correct you, but there's
no, thank you, please.
Well, I mean, no offense taken or anything, but you know, when I was a young person growing up, I didn't resonate with mainstream radio. I didn't resonate much with, I don't know, what I saw as design out there in the world. But then there was just something that grabbed me about pirate radio, which is a weird thing to explain if you're not from London, but it was just a particular point in time where illegal music was broadcast through FM frequencies that didn't have a license, and there was a lot of stuff around the police and shutting these stations down, but they went to a lot of risks to broadcast this music, and there was a whole kind of culture around that, and a lot of it came from the events, and the events always had this amazing artwork on the flyers that I just kind of stuck all over my bedroom walls. And there was always quite positive themes, like it was science fiction, but it was fantasy. It was always quite positive views of the future. It kind of veered towards consciousness, maybe slightly psychedelic. You know, things like if there was some kind of female representation on there, she would be like empowered. She'd be a warrioress, which is quite funny because years later, the flyers girls just turned in more into like the flyers were over sexualized. But this period in time, they weren't. They were kind of, everyone was empowered, and it was creating visions of the future that were always just quite positive. And that fed through the music. The music was all about collective togetherness, oneness, bringing people together through these things. So these rave flyers, which you know you can look up on Google now for events such as Dreamscape, One Nation, all the different artists now are some are actually doing NFTs. Shout out to one particular one called Junior Tomlin, who was an absolute legend back in those days, and is now, you know, is of the older generation, but he's making NFTs. So there was just something about it that was just so niche and so you know, not necessarily widely known, but it inspired me so much that I feel that now I've, you know, upped my 3D skills and I'm developing. It's just something that I want to nod back to and revive, and feel like there's things there to revisit and explore more that weren't they were just kind of, they just went a certain way, and it was a period in time, and then everyone shut the door and moved on, and the culture moved on. But to me, I always remembered it. So that just fed on to my involvement, and I helped start the foundations of what is now the UK grime scene. So a lot of that early stuff, and the dubstep scene. I did a lot of VJing for that. But these were all people that started those scenes, were also inspired by this kind of early 1990s rave, hardcore, jungle type aesthetic on flyers and music and pirate radio and culture at a particular time in London. So that's the best way to explain it.
That's cool. We also have a question from Rendered Flesh. They would like to know, how did your debate at the uni go?
Okay, well, to give context to maybe people that might not know the full extent of that question, my old university where I went to study animation invited me back to speak. My old tutor got in touch, and I said, I want to talk about NFTs because that's what I'm doing now. And he was like, great. Maybe they marketed it wrong. They took some text off my website and extrapolated it and made it a headline. They advertised it as the crypto degenerate rave lord Vector Meldrew is going to explain to you what a non-fungible token is. Within minutes, this poster triggered students. There was a whole cabal of students that joined together to get me cancelled. It went to management at the university. There was a very long email that essentially formed the basis of that piece of trash art that Matthew showed, and I got cancelled basically, and I wasn't allowed to go back to my old university to speak about what I think is a big industry shift and a big thing for animation students who will essentially be building this next wave of the metaverse. We're in need of people like that. I think there's a shortage of like good riggers, good builders for the building different structures within the metaverse. But one of the biggest universities for animation in UK said no to learning about that because of all the reasons, pyramid schemes, scams, etc. So the debate hasn't happened. I haven't heard back since I got cancelled. I chased them a bit, but I've also been mega busy working this Nifty drop, so I haven't really harassed them too much about it. So I don't know what's happening with it, but it's a very strange situation that has actually caused. There's all kinds of people still talking to me about this. I had a journalist from Forbes magazine reach out to me who wanted to talk about it. So it's actually hit a lot of notes that I didn't expect. And it's also one of the biggest things that people have constantly DM'd me about in the past year. So there was something about it that really hit a note that I didn't expect would. So it's still open-ended. I hope there is a debate because I feel passionate about education and I have a history in educating in different countries and stuff. So I want to explain this to people, and I feel that I could handle a debate with students accusing me of things like scams, pyramid schemes. There's obviously the environmental debate, which is sensitive, but I think I can navigate in a debate situation. So it hasn't happened, and it's unfortunate, and I feel a bit sad about it actually for the younger generation in some ways.
I think you spinned it like amazingly. I mean, flipped it on its head, created some trash art about it, propagating that meme, and hopefully it gets back to maybe the decision makers or some of the students that you would have been speaking to anyway, and they kind of like see the forest through the trees. But Vector, dude, thank you so much for, first of all, like putting together a fire new WIP banner for us. The design is sick. I love it. The DJ said getting eclectic, and the Angie Taylor here with us as well. And yeah, just creating a great collection of art that I'm super stoked to release over on Nifty Gateway next week, man. Thank you for all those things.
Absolute pleasure. And thank you for inviting me. And, the music, everything was just a pleasure to bring together and bring those people together. We all enjoy that. That's what we do. We started a cult just to do that. So this is our job. So thank you.
Long live the cult.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, next up we have Mr. Y in the house here to talk about his newest project, NFT Garage. So, Mr. Y, if you're here, unmute and take it away.
I am unmuted, and I hope you can hear me. Hello. Thanks for having me.
That was our pleasure.
Yeah. So I think I only have 4 minutes, right? So I have to get in there. Yeah, my name is Richard, aka Mr. Y. I'm YouTuber since 2009, a very, very small niche YouTuber, but at least. And I'm doing crypto art on Super Rare since 2019, so I'm not totally new to this space, but I now started my first really big project. It's called Nft Garage, and I think it's a very unique idea and usage of NFTs. What we are doing is I'm creating a YouTube show about tuning or building a car. So that's what some other YouTubers do. But the cool thing is we are selling NFTs, and all the NFT owners are the guys or persons who make the decisions about the look of the car. So in an episode, I will show like 5 different rims, wheels, and then the NFT owners vote which one we will put on the car. Same with the interior, which seats, which colors, which leather. Also, we are doing the design contest for the wrap of the car, and then the users are making the decisions. And the coolest part of this thing is, at the end of the show, when the car is done, we are building a Nissan GTR Liberty Walk, so it's like $150,000 car with 1,000 horsepower. We're giving away the car to one of the NFT owners for free. So by owning the NFT, you're not only part of the YouTube show, you can also win the car at the end. The NFT itself are car parts, like 4 different categories. We have bodies with different colors and designs. We have interior, we have wheels and suspensions. And the NFT owners can burn 4 NFTs, one of each category, and then they will get a new NFT with the car they have virtually built out of the parts they burned. So yeah, I think it's a very unique thing. We have a lot of other stuff coming up, and minting is like I hope a month away, but yeah. That's basically it. So one thing, we have a very, very exclusive giveaway only for the listeners around here at VIP. I'm going to post the link in the general right now. We are giving away whitelist spots, okay, but we're also giving away 20 early bird spots. That's a very, very exclusive list with only 50 spots. And we are also giving away a very unique thing, custom car design. So one of the you guys can win a 1-of-1 NFT with his own design. So I can create the design, or you can create it. We can do it together. We will mint it for you, and you have a 1-of-1 NFT of this collection. So I think it's very cool. Check out the link. It's in general, and yeah, I'm happy to get some questions.
That's short and sweet. No verbal assault this time by Mr. Jackson. Well done, Mr. Y. Well, I'll pass the mic to Show to let you. I see you, Dragonite. I see you. Show, man. And it hit Mr. Y with those questions.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey, happy to get some questions. So yeah, people hit me up.
Cool. What are the obstacles that come with bringing attention to your project, and how have you managed to overcome them with your collaboration with Nft Garage?
So, so if I get it right, I mean, the NFT Garage idea, I had it some time ago, and I'm currently trying to get attention to the project. It's a really, really, really hard thing. I mean, basically it's a one-man show, so I have not a huge team behind me or whatever. I'm doing the art by myself. I'm also the host of the YouTube show and stuff like this. So I'm currently really grinding Twitter every day and trying to get people the attention of people, because I think it's a very unique and cool project, but there are millions of projects every day, so I'm drowning a little bit. So Yeah, I'm currently trying to get the attention of some crypto artists that they are creating one-of-one car NFTs, so we get some attention. The biggest thing I'm doing at the moment is being here and talking about this project. So yeah, I'm really struggling a little bit to get more people, the word out there. Let's say it like that, because there's a lot of scammy people that are offering their service, but I don't want to do that. So yeah, it's the daily grind at the moment.
That's cool. We also have a question from Demon Tiger. They would like to know, are you only into making trash art, or do you create a variety of art? And actually, have you made trash art at all?
I also made trash art. I assume as an artist, as a classic artist, as a crypto artist, I'm not an artist that was on a art school or something. So I'm just someone who loves to create digital stuff. And I on my Super page, it says like my art is like a box of chocolate. You never know what's coming up. So it's from Forrest Gump. So I do what I want. So I don't have this one style that I'm doing repeating all the time. So I assume I also have made trash art, but I think I also made other stuff and art directions.
Yeah, and I have to say that last year around this time, you released a piece called like Tiny Rooms 3 Antique Art Shop. Just drop it in here for everyone to look at. That was low key like one of my all-time favorite pieces that made the stupid decision not to bid on or go after. But if you click on it, you can check out some absolute gems. And like I love the odes to some of the other artists in the space. I love that actual piece from Mr.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, that was. I mean, I made a series. This is something like that's happening from time to time. So I have an idea, and it's maybe totally different than what I made before. So yeah, my art is very. I think that's also the biggest, let's call it, problem why I'm not where other artists are, because it's sometimes you can't, if you see an X-Copy art, and I started a few months after X-Copy. I remember him because we were one of the first users on Super Rare, so I know him for a long time, but I never bought his art when it was like $50. I'm an idiot, I know. But if you look at his art, you totally recognize it if you see it and say, oh yeah, it's an X-Copy. But if you see my art, it's totally different. I mean, if you look at Nft Garage, I also made the art of that project, so it's totally different from every day. When I wake up, I have another idea. So but it's fine, I think.
No, I love that. I mean, you have to stay true to yourself at the end of the day. If you try to force yourself and your art into a specific direction that isn't you, I mean, people can smell that, and it doesn't feel good for anyone. So I mean,
Exactly.
the process of experimentation and seeing what's next as a collector, I love that shit too, personally.
Yeah.
So anyway,
that's great to hear.
yeah. So Mr. Y, man, thank you so much for jumping up on the virtual stage again with us. Super stoked to see how NFT Garage evolves and morphs, and hopefully we'll have you back on the show sometime soon.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Cheers. Cool. And next up, we have Pixelated Wizards, I believe, in the house. So I'm not sure who's speaking from that project, but if you're here, please unmute. Take it away.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, Meta Munch, there you are.
How's it going? Thanks for having me on here. It's been a little while since I came on the WIP, so always excited to come on and talk about what we're doing. So I'll just throw in our links into the chat here. So yeah, I'm a co-founder of Pixa. Oops, all of those embeds popped up. There we go. So I'm a co-founder of Pixa, and we have been around for since last February, so February 2021. And so we created one of our first projects was creating the Pixelated Wizards, and so it's this collection of about 1,000. Well, it's 1,000 auto-generated kind of profile pictures, and so kind of similar to what you've seen over the last year. But when we came out with those, like we kind of, I wasn't really in crypto at all. I had experimented a bit when things had gotten popular in 2017. But I didn't really have any money to throw at crypto, and I didn't know anything about NFTs back then. And so when crypto was kind of going crazy around Christmas in 2020, starting to pick up, I was just kind of starting to get into it again, starting to research things more, and we kind of found. Me and my girlfriend found NFTs just kind of through Reddit threads on different, crypto projects. So we were kind of like, when we dropped into the NFT space, things like hash masks and we're going crazy. CryptoPunks were obviously like very popular, and so we both liked kind of collectible things, like in real life, like collectible cards. Hockey cards, Pokemon was a big thing when I was a kid, and so wanted to do something similar to that and a little bit more fantasy themed. So we came up with these very pixelated wizards, and so Dragon Age just threw in an image of one of them. So they have different items, different robes, and they exist in 10 different worlds, which was kind of at the time we thought that was kind of a cool thing to have the backgrounds show that they were part of this. Kind of it's their own universe. So we call that universe the Pixa realm, and so it consists of 10 different worlds. And we had launched on Rarible back in February 2021, and got a decent amount of momentum, and our Discord was saying, well, what's next? And so we started to kind of brainstorm on what we were going to do, and so over the last year we've built out pretty complex ecosystem consisting of we have a Metaverse demo out, so you can play. Coming up, you'll be able to play as your Pixel Wizard, as a voxel version of your Pixel Wizard. We also have multiple different collections. So we have Pixa Witches, which is kind of the female version of that. So there's 2,000 Pixa Witches, and then we have some creatures called the Pixa Wyverns, which are kind of like dragons without arms, if you guys know what wyverns are. And then we have the wargs coming out. Wargs are like these massive kind of direwolf type things. So those are kind of our main collections, and you'll be able to play in our metaverse as the ones that you own. And so we have a demo for that, and then we're also coming out with some land ownership tokens in June of this year that will also double as kind of a play to earn token as well. So you'll be able to earn an ERC20 token called Elixir, and it's kind of gamified with which Pixa NFTs you own, and you can steal each other's Elixir, and we've actually gamified it out in a pretty interesting way, and we're still kind of finalizing the plan around that. So that's kind of what we've been up to, and so we kind of basically have something for everything, or something for everybody. So yeah.
There you go. God, that Samuel L. Jackson clip never gets old. All right, well, I know there are some questions for you, MetaMunch, so let's get the show to relay those questions to you.
Perfect.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
We have a question from Amani. They would like to know about your collaboration with Dragonate in regards to Pixa.
Sure, yeah. So Dragonate was one of, I forget exactly when you joined our community, Dragonate, but he was pretty early on, found us and was pretty active in our Discord. So Dragonate's now our community manager and a moderator type thing, in a type role in our Discord, and he helps us with a lot of a lot of stuff in our Discord that he's obviously a very experienced moderator and community manager. So so that's kind of his role in the Pixa community.
That's cool. We also have a question from Rogan X. They would like to know why Reddit. It tends to be extremely hostile to NFTs and crypto there.
Yeah, it's actually interesting because the reason I was on Reddit to begin with was a lot of the talk about, if you guys remember that whole GameStop fiasco that happened of the Wall Street bets doing their thing against with GameStop stock, and so I was following that a lot on Reddit because that's pretty much where all the action was. And people kept posting in these threads being like, "We'll come to crypto. The market never stops. Market never closes. No one can manipulate anything." And so that's kind of what triggered me to go back into crypto after like a long time of not researching it very much. So that's kind of why I was on Reddit, was because of GameStop.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, Reddit is always this place where early on I know it was great, and there's like pockets that kind of pop up and really interesting community formation that happens there too. So that's definitely an interesting insight there. MetaMunch, man, thank you so much for jumping back up on the virtual stage after a couple months. Awesome to see you here and hear the new plans and everything that you have cooking. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks so much for inviting me on here. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, and a big shout out, all the love in the universe to Dragonate, Sir Dragonate, Drago Early Nate. Love to see him spreading the good vibes all around. Cool. But with that, all the speaker updates are finished, are done, and I think that before we have the group shot on top of this absolutely epic Voxel Hotel, Paradox, Sir Paradox, the real Paradox, not fake Paradox, I believe has a teaser video that he wants to show us before we take pictures. So Paradox, pass the mic to you and take it away, sir.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Right. That's the cue for Dragonate to do your thing. Take it away, sir.
Just a humble cameraman looking for a tiny bit of attention. It's me, Paradox. Get your asses in line and smile for the fucking camera. No one cares about Matthew and Rizzle, that's for sure. It's about me, Paradox. I'm taking over the show.
Excellent. Right. Okay. Here we go. So we are going to do the group photo guys together. However, I'm going to do something first. So if you've not been listening, my name is Paradox. I'm the resident WIP videographer. As I said, we'll be taking a group photo shortly, but in the meantime, we're going to do something else. So also bear with me. I've been awake for about 48 hours at this point, so I'm a little jittery this week, but we'll get there. So in the essence of taking over the show, I have a little bit of self-shilling to do. So as some of you know, my general gig is documenting the metaverse in video form. I run a show called Metaverse Cribs. It's on the Metanauts YouTube channel. It's kind of like the answer to MTV Cribs, but the metaverse version. So check it out if you can. But that's not the reason I'm here to talk to you about today. So essentially, on my journeys, whilst I'm recording these Metaverse Cribs episodes, I get to talk to a shit ton of people, and they tell me some cool things. So I had Toxam, who's in our community, and Skeeny both separately tell me about this really weird thing that happened in 2018 in Crypto Voxels. So before I start, I'm just going to post an image quickly and tell me if any of you OGs recognize this image. Let's see. So it was 2018. Yep, some people are getting it. So for those of you who don't know, it's the logo for something called the Cult of the Eye that popped up in Crypto Voxels around about 2018, early 2019, something like that. And for the last week, I've been doing some investigating, kind of super spy journalist, old school 60s journalism type thing. And oh man, there is there is a conspiracy that runs way deeper than anyone knows. So, of course, I'm going to make a conspiracy theory video. It's all going to be in good fun, and it's in the form of a 10-minute mini documentary. Next week, after the Afties, I will be screening the documentary for you all to enjoy. And there's going to be some very special wearables given away next week. So make sure you sign the guest book next week. But this week, I'd like to show you the first 1 minute of the video. It's not really a teaser trailer. It's the first minute, but it will give you an idea of the style, kind of like my editing skill, that kind of thing, and kind of generally tease you for next week's screening. So I believe Dragonate is going to queue up the video. So make sure you click watch stream. Let's see if that works. How you doing, Dragonate? All good? Dragonate is live. Excellent. Should we give people a few seconds? Okay, cool. Let's press play then. Any audio? Def to audio.
The following video has been dramatized for entertainment purposes. Nonetheless, it is based on true events. In the cycle of human history, the advent and subsequent life of the Metaverse is but a blink of the eye. However, the passing of time has been observed to move differently in the Metaverse, at close to the speed of light compared to that of the material realm. There is a far greater store of history within the Metaverse than we might know. Let us now venture deep into the archives of the Metaverse to visit ancient history and discover a long-forgotten mystery.
Thank you very much, Dragonate. Okay, cool. So that is the first 1 minute of the 10-minute documentary called The Cult of the Eye. So I hope it's whet your appetite. And remember, it's screening next week after the Afties. And come along for some wearables. But for now, I'm actually going to do my job on the WIP and get a group photo of you all. So this week, I want everyone to attempt to cram into the pool. Like, everyone in the pool, please. So whilst you do that, I'm going to give everyone sort of 30 seconds while I talk at you some more. If anyone's not in world, this is the point where you can jump in world and be part of a group photo and a group video. So I edit together, I shoot and edit a video every week, which Rizzle posts on his Twitter. So keep an eye out for that. So let's round everybody up. Elbow, Electric Method, there's a couple of anonymouses on the dance floor. I think that's all we're going to get. Okay, cool. So this is nice and easy. So just throw up some emojis. I'm going to click record and we'll go for it. We're going to keep it nice and simple this week. Okay, you're setting the pool on fire. That's Jesus Christ. That's amazing. Yes, more. Whoa. Is it crashing on us as crypto voxels? Beautiful. I can see Carmorph at the top. It's kind of like an emoji bubble bath. Let's go with that. Okay, cool. Right, I'm just gonna do a couple more pans around everybody. Thank you very much. Excellent. There's the most packed emojis I've seen. Okay, cool. Right, we're going to call it there. Guys, thank you very much for listening to a very jittery Paradox this week. I'll see you next week, and I'm going to pass straight back to probably Rizzle. So cheers, guys. Paradox out.
Paradox, thank you so much as always. Yo, wait, Dragonate, I gotta let him know. Can you pause it? Paradox was so excited for his voxel orgy in the bathtub that he went like a little bit out of order here, but it's all good, of course. We got the trailer that Paradox also worked on. Do I sound jittery? I am. This drop is crazy. I'm like, non like little sleep. Anyway, if you want to click on Dragonate's name, or you're still clicked on Dragonate's name, we have the trailer that Paradox actually cooked up that I haven't posted publicly yet for the on-chain chain. So if you all want to see it, I wanted to give you guys first glimpse, especially since you'll be here when it all happens, and for better or for worse. So if you want to click Dragonate's name, it's got a countdown for like 10 seconds on it, and the trailer is only like 20 seconds. So, but it came out dope. Paradox, really, really, really appreciate the support and help putting it together, man. So yeah, so this is the last alpha, I think. I believe we got a guest list somewhere, so we'll find that for you. Make sure you sign that, and so you can get all the things, and then we'll pass it over to the show for the afties. But Dragonate, if you want to hit it, man, we'll hit him with the teaser and then pass it over to the show. Came out dope, right? I can't do that myself, but thank you. I did nothing. I like play it again. We could play it again. You want to do it one more time? I'm not gonna post it. I figure I'll post it publicly. Maybe closer to next week when the drop. Okay, replay is happening right now. Thank you guys. That was the replay. Thank you guys. I'm glad you all liked it. Yes, I couldn't have asked for anything more. It came out like, super dope, just like in my head, and somehow Paradox made it possible. So yeah, tune in next week for when it actually drops live during the WIP. Wearable sets are happening. I think I want to make the claim that this is the first like generative metaverse fashion project. I don't think anything like that has been done. Maybe I'll just say it on Twitter and see if anyone corrects me. I feel like that's the way you do that. So anyway, that's the thing. Appreciate everyone loving it, and everyone's support, and obviously Paradox for carving it up for me. So thank you all. With that, I think we've done all the things. I think we got a guest list around here somewhere. We'll figure it out, hang out while show is yelling at everybody, and we'll get that taken care of. So thanks everybody. I think that's everything. So show, man, unless Matt wants to barge in, you can take it away, dude.
Wait, is this thing on?
Yeah! It's time for the FTs! Hot takes, opinions, thoughts. Let's go!
WIP fam. WIP fam. WIP fam. WIP fam. WIP fam. WIP fam, before I get into my diatribe, I think that's the word. I don't know. I need to go back to college maybe or something. Shout out to Paradox. This is Paradox Day. You're seeing all the greatness from my friend, my homie. He works too hard. He's been traumatized from years of having to give rewrites and edits from clients over and over and over again. And I was joking with him about that. The final maybe kind of sorta .mp4 mp3 Shout out to him. He works too hard. Much love, my dude. That being said, WIP film! WIP film! I've been sitting here stewing in my own filth for decades, for weeks, for months, for something, anything positively to happen in the crypto space. And finally, Axie Infinity has released Origin. And I've never been more excited in my life. When playing Pokemon back in the day, I would receive endless amounts of oxytocin to my brain. So I can only imagine what kinds of organic and natural body drugs made from my body in the form of electrical signals in a cocktail of vegetable dumplings, scones, and coffee that'll come out of playing Axie Infinity Origin. Speaking of coffee, I've been having dreams of leaving my home with my laptop and gallivanting and traipsing and absconding to a packed Starbucks and commandeering a nice corner seat, dominating the only electrical socket from the casual Starbucks patrons, and building a fort with multiple wooden tables and chairs so no one can sit next to me. And I'm sitting there twiddling my fingers, and I pop on my laptop because that's how I imagine I turn it on. I just, pop it in and pop it on, right? And then spin up the brand spanking new early access version of Axie Infinity Origin, and then look at all of my Axies with brand new upgrades and flashy looking polygons and artwork that are a massive upgrade to the old versions. And immediately, I felt my heartstrings tug. 'Cause if you know anything about oxytocin, and middle-aged men who are obsessed with little digital monsters, you know that we have been psychologically programmed to grab them and catch them and own them all. Where is my damn Venti Grande Frappuccino, motherfucker? Welcome to the Acties, y'all. I'm your host, show. You already know. If you don't know, you will know by the end of this thing that is attached, associated, that is on the end to telomeres. When you go to space, your telomeres extend. I'm still trying to figure out if that turns me into a fucking alien or a sandwich. I don't know. Welcome to the Afties. I'm your host, show. Super simple. During this portion, you are going to ask. No, not ask. You're not fucking asking shit. You're going to give your opinion about the things that you were just presented. Things presented to about, I don't know how to phrase that. You're presented shit. Shit was presented to you. You give your fucking opinion. Since when in life do people want your damn opinion? We want it. Phrase it. Phrase it in the form of a hot take. For once in your life, you speak up for yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. You had 3 people present things. Talk about it. Be about it. Give your opinion. Phrase it in the form of a hot take or an opinion. All right. Speaking of hot takes, here was the first presenter. In regards to Vector Meldrew, so cool. I love the neon. You know, I'm a big fan of neon. I'm a big fan of 80s neon. I'm a big fan of Flock of Seagulls. I'm a big fan of synthwave. You know, it was my jam. I actually really do like synthwave. I gotta make something even more cringy. I'm a big fan of new wave. Excuse me, I got my waves wrong. Speaking of waves, the artwork from Vector Meldrew reminds me of Max Headroom from the early 90s. And honestly, I forgot who else I compared the artwork to Max Headroom last year. I know that I compared that shit to somebody else's shit. But this is some new shit. It's 2022, and he has some new shit coming out. But this feels like a DMT trip. I don't want to be awake, okay? My hot take is that the CEOs nowadays are microdosing shrooms because they are too lazy to go to therapy. And they don't want rhetorical questions directed to them by someone price gouging them and being patronizing and condescending. And please mute your microphone until I ask you to unmute your microphone. Thoughts? Unmute your microphone. You muted it, then unmute it. Mute it, then unmute it, then mute it again. Thoughts? And then unmute it so you can speak.
Okay,
Thoughts?
here we go. I'm muting and unmuting. Is this happy for you?
No. No. I'm not happy.
Too fucking bad.
Because I'm unhappy because the CEOs are microdosing shrooms. They're microdosing shrooms. The federal government just pushed out a thing where they're legalizing cannabis and taxing 95% of it, and then giving what the fuck is it? Certificates of achievement from people who are arrested for having less than 1 ounce of marijuana and ruining families. They're releasing them from prison and saying, "Thank you for your service. You have a certificate of attendance." Thoughts?
I think you're macrodosing shrooms.
No, you, and I'm jealous because you're doing all the shrooms and you're not passing them. Since when does anyone who's C-suite, C-level, I'm talking about CTO, CCO, CEO, not to be confused with Creative Commons, not that kind of CCO, CMO, CFO. Since when does the leadership of a corporation do drugs? You're allowed to do drugs? Actually, wait, I take that back, because in the 80s, they were doing Quaaludes and Coke all the time, but yet they were drug testing all the help. And then in the 80s, they were watching Max Headroom while they were high on Coke and making millions of dollars. Thoughts?
Medicine is drugs, so yes, technically.
Huh?
Medicine is also drugs, so yes, drugs should be allowed. Apparently.
You love it. Don't tell me what you love and then project it onto me. This isn't a therapy session. The CEOs are doing shrooms.
I mean, if they are, what are you going to do about it?
Look, the reason why I'm talking about therapy, the reason why I'm talking about shrooms, the reason why I'm talking about CEOs and stuff, the CEOs are bogged down with just as much work as you had today when you had to switch and swap through all of the sounds and videos and shit making you work. They're stressed out. They need someone to talk to. They need therapy. Maybe like the name of Vector Meldrew's collection, right? Instead of having a mental breakdown and doing shrooms and having a DMT experience and seeing God, right, they could have a mental breakthrough. Maybe if they legalize doing shrooms in the workplace, you can have a mental breakthrough. Thoughts?
You know, speaking of mental breakdown, I just want to say, Vector, it sucks that that your university canceled you. And I don't know what the frick it is with people who hate NFTs. They seriously, I think their brains just completely shut off and they go into ooga booga NFT bad mode and they just can't do anything else. They're just completely incapable of thinking like a normal person because of NFTs. There are a couple of channels I love watching.
Dragonade, haven't you heard it? NFTs are fake, bro.
No, man. There's a couple of YouTube channels I love watching, and one of them does a amazing deep dives into so many different topics, and he does so much fucking research. It is amazing. I fucking love it that he does this. When it comes to NFTs, he does surface level shit, says all the wrong things, and knows nothing while having a hot take on it. I hope you can hear my eye twitching.
Two things, and one of them being something I want to hear again. Instead of your eye twitching, I want to hear you do the again. Do that sound again.
Which is basically exactly what he sounds like too.
You sound
boogity,
like,
boogity.
and you too, whoever that was. You sound like you need to do some shrooms, and whatever you're doing right now is not legalized by the U.S. government. This the second thing I'm saying,
coffee, sir.
What's up, show? It's Grev. How you doing, buddy?
Who?
It's Grev, dude.
What?
I'm back.
Grev, son.
That's what happens when, like, you make friends your freshman year of college, and then you come back your sophomore year. You're like, dude, who are you? I forgot. I was doing all the drugs on campus last year, man. I don't remember faces. Speaking of campus, right? Just to circle back to what was mentioned. It's funny that that you had college students canceling Vector Meldrew, right, in regards to NFTs, because on college campuses you would expect kids to be more open-minded. Hell, they're doing drugs all the time, skipping class. They're coming up with these politically they become political activists. They do everything but fucking do the damn schooling shit, right? So it's crazy that this would happen. And in addition to that, they're dumbasses, right? You're so against something that's going to liberate you and your student loans, right? You're only perpetuating the cycle. You'd rather have student loans instead of have NFTs to pay off your student loans. Thoughts?
Why would you do drugs and then skip class? That's the best part.
Phrase that rhetorically and rephrase it again.
It was already in the form of a question. What more do you want from me?
Everything! I want soul, motherfucker!
Why dost thou doeth thou drugs, and then skippeth thy class?
I'm sorry, I fell asleep during that portion of Shakespeare 102 with the flowery language and shit. I have no idea what the fuck you just said.
And he said unto thee, idiots, try and ban things from their own schools that could save their own asses because they're that just trained by the media. Wow.
The media is in our schools. The media is in our lunchroom. The media is in our dorm rooms watching us sleep. Shout out to all the people who just left the voice channel. Shout out to all 50 of you who fucking left when you heard my voice. Hi. Moving on, next subject. I'm angsty. I went to college. If I didn't go to college, maybe I wouldn't be full of angst. All right. Speaking of reminiscing and difficulties, our next presenter, shout out to Mr. Y with the deep fucking voice. Mr. Y, it's too early in the afternoon for that deep voice. You're making us have trashy thoughts. I'm trying to keep it cordial during the afties. I'm trying to keep it civil. I'm trying to keep it PG-13. All right. It's the reason why we got kicked out of the previous community. I wasn't corporate enough. I wasn't doing shrooms in the C-suite of the previous community. I was too offensive. That's an inside joke for the WIP crew. All right. Speaking of which,
Yo, wait, really?
Well, hold up. Hold on. Thank you. Mr. Y was reminiscing about the difficulties of attracting people to his project in the crypto space. My hot take is that if you don't do anything at all, literally nothing, right? Nothing. Don't do anything. Don't tweet. Don't interact. Don't engage. Don't build. Don't research Solidity. Nothing, right? And you just start asking to be invited to Twitter space rooms. Give yourself a title. You will have 1 million Twitter followers. People love when you don't do shit. And when you do a bunch of shit, like Dragonate and Paradox, they don't want to see it. They don't want to see you do nothing, and that's how you win. Thoughts? Oh, now you don't want to speak.
Everyone loves a mystery. Everyone loves the mystery, right? The less you do, the more you do. Truth.
The more you do, the more chance you have to frick it up.
This is why I don't
Just
listen to
saying.
Dragon Aid's content.
Bitch. Sorry.
PG-13.
You know, if someone would have told me that in college, all I had to do was sleep through all my classes, but then sleep with all of my teachers and get 1 million Twitter followers, I would have did that shit instead. I would have did that shit. Doing nothing gets you everything.
Where did you go to school? My teachers were like 60-year-old men.
Thank you, Maria Helena. I went to the same school. I studied law with Kim Kardashian. And you know what Kim told me when we were on lunch after fifth period?
She made squeaking noises.
No, she told me, right? Nobody wants to work. That's what she
especially
told
if
me.
you're born rich.
Nobody wants to work. That's what she told me. Shit. And I was like, you know what, Kim? You know what, Kimmy? Because we're on that kind of level.
Uh-huh.
You know, you're right. You know, the difficulties of like putting a project out it's so hard to get attention, so hard to market. People don't care. And she's like, yeah, you're right. You know, oh my God, it was so hard for me in Calabasas. And my mom was she's nonstop having meetings with Ryan Seacrest. And I don't even like Ryan Seacrest. I don't even like Watercrest. So to think that I would like Ryan fucking Seacrest is like, God, I wish I could have more years in college. Thoughts?
College, schmollege.
Thoughts? You cut me off during when I was speaking. Speak. See, that's
I
what
didn't cut you off. I was adding to it.
Not you.
Oh, okay.
No you.
Sorry.
No you and not you. What I'm saying is this is what's wrong with kids in the world today. You young squirts. You have everything to say in college. You don't do any of the work. And then when we give you the space to speak, you don't speak. And then when someone else is speaking, you want to speak. You whippersnappers, you're pissing me off.
Get off my lawn.
Where's the shotgun?
God, us middle-aged old fogies are doing all the work.
But we want to know about that. Why you left Token Smart? Is that something to do with you? What was going on with that inside joke? What's up with that?
What? Well, for one, hold on 1 second. There's a couple of things wrong with what you just said. The first thing is that there's not enough bass in your voice. The second thing is that you didn't phrase what you said rhetorically. The third thing is that I didn't say Token Smart. I said the last community/corporate entity that we left. None of those terms fit Token Smart. Rephrase it and then repeat. Oh my God. See, this is what happens when I'm teaching Spanish 102 and I say, que hora es? You're talking about fucking donuts and that's not what I said.
What was the last corporate entity that you left?
Again, a hot take or an opinion, rhetorically.
McDonald's.
Thank you, Gravitator. You get a check plus on your SATs for that answer. Thank you so much. During the afties, phrase your opinion in a form of a hot take or an opinion. If you have a question, don't expect me to know the answer to what you're thinking. Phrase it rhetorically. I said nothing about Token Smart. Why would I have something to say about Token? I love Token Smart. Hello? We've been there forever. We've been there fucking forever. Thoughts?
How can you not love Token Smart? There's nothing to add.
Next subject. The novelty of pixelated artwork has died. the novelty of pixelated artwork has died in regards to our last presenter from Pixel Wizards, Meta Munch, right? It's died, along with the sense of connection to Snow Crash by Neil Stephenson and Larva Labs just saying, fuck it, have it, take it. We don't want the responsibility of owning one of the most legendary and pivotal things in the 21st century. Give us millions and we disappear. Give us millions and we disappear.
I think pixel art was famous and it was loved for, Pokemon and all these games and everything. And I don't think the novelty is dead, but I think a lot of people just think it's a meme now.
I wish my life was in pixels.
Yes, it will never die. There's too much nostalgia.
I think that's the problem. I think that's the issue. Is nostalgia dead? Is nostalgia dead?
No.
Absolutely not.
Some nostalgia needed to die.
Not all the. So oh God, what was that term? Someone said that they want to be semi-old. So semi, but not fully. Is that it? I'm confused.
I've got a raging semi right now.
Nostalgia just changes as you go.
Nostalgia doesn't have to change. Pixels don't have to change.
Your nostalgia sucks though. My nostalgia is awesome.
Listen, you're shaming. You're pixel shaming me.
He's pixel shaming and nostalgia shaming. Cancel him.
Look, this isn't college. We're not canceling people, all right? Just because they're sharing their opinions. Okay. This is a forum where we encourage you to be intelligent because I am the opposite of intelligence. Okay? Thank you. There's no shame in my game. How's that for fucking nostalgia? Pixels. What I dislike and what I love about pixels are pixels. You can build anything with them, but at the same time, their edges are pointy, and sometimes you got to squint in order to make it kind of blend together with your eyes, but at the same time, you may get too many details, so then it takes away. I'm just I don't know. I just don't know. Thoughts.
Everything's pixels if you get down close enough.
I mean, I just don't. Nostalgia, man. Nostalgia. What if we let go of the nostalgia? What if you let go of the nostalgia of remembering what was in your pants before your belly grew out and you couldn't see what was inside of your pants anymore? To me, it's pixelated in my pants. I have to squint and hope that I see something down there. Who else can relate? Who else can relate?
Awkward silence.
Who else can relate to having to do a full-on split in order to see what's under their belly at the moment? I need a magnifying glass. I need a pixelated digital version of a microscopic glass built with Solidity on Polygon, the network, fueled by Matic, in order to see what's going on down there.
I guarantee you, if you could figure out what was down there, it would be pixelated.
Same, Mark Rendar. Same. When it comes to opening and expanding your mind, it's best to always approach things in a way that allows you to facilitate whatever you're imagining and dreaming about. I had my best thoughts. I had my best hot takes in college. And slowly my brain was eroded by life. What we need more of are college students asking for more student loans instead of NFTs because NFTs are the devil. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming through this edition of the Afties. Shout out to the entire leadership team here in meme.com. Shout out to all of the WIP crew. You know I love each and every single one of you. If you feel like you want to donate and throw some shit our way, you know the ENS address. Just make sure that the tokens aren't malicious. We know. Just don't send that shit to us. You know the deal. And last but not least, shout out to WIP fam. WIP fam, we can't do this without you. We know you. We love you. Tell a friend. Like, retweet, follow, motherfucker. Thank you so much, everyone. Much love, and I'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Whoop, whoop. And we'll be back over in Token Smart in about an hour and 45 minutes with the cipher featuring Fishbrain. So come on through.